Welcome to day 4 of Glow Up Week. Today we're going to talk about how you do not need a website to get started. I'm going to tell you about all the bells and whistles that you don't need to get started selling based on your experience. So you don't need a website. You don't need an LLC, which I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, I got my LLC." Okay, you don't need an LLC. You don't need any fancy equipment. You don't need branding. You don't need brand colors. You don't need any of those things. The only thing you need is the willingness to get started and to tell people what you do. You have to get bold. You have to take action. Talk about your transformation. Talk about how you have done the thing that you are selling. That's really what makes sales. People try to make it too complicated, and it's not that complicated. You have to talk to people. You can't just post on social media. So a lot of times people think, oh, well, I have an Instagram and I have a Facebook and I have a LinkedIn. Okay, that's great. But that's not going to get you clients. It'll let people know what you're doing, but half the time you post and there's crickets, which it hurts people's feelings because people aren't responding and they're having these expectations that all of a sudden, because they decided what they're going to do, that people are going to be on board. But that's not the way it works. You have to make personal connections. You have to start showing up in spaces where you maybe were hesitant before. And you have to ask for money. Like, you have to get comfortable telling people what you do and asking them if they're interested in purchasing it. It's not this long, drawn out thing. Really, the thing that it really requires is starting to like to talk to people and telling everybody, like everybody that you know, what you're doing. It requires texting your friends, texting your family, texting whoever is in your phone. Let them know. It requires whatever social media you may be on. DMing people and telling them, hey, I just created this program to help you get unstuck and get moving in your career. Or I help women lose 10 pounds. Like, there's a lot of women out there and men that are helping people lose weight because they lost weight. All you have to do is show up as a product of your product. So if you lost, say you lost 30 pounds, you want to start posting pictures before and after. You want to start showing pictures of what you eat, what your routine is. What do you walk every day? Do you exercise? Show your exercise. And then when people comment, message them and say, hey, I saw you commented. Would you like help losing weight? Or they might say, you look great. I wish I could lose 30 pounds. And then you message them and say, you can lose 30 pounds. I'm here to encourage you. I want to show you the way. If you want that information, here's the link to my, and I made a list of things, of just a few tools you can use. Canva, that's one of the main tools that I use to create pictures for what I'm selling or just a visual of what I'm selling. And then Calendly, it's a calendar app. So you can sell on that app and you can have people schedule appointments or sessions with you on that app. Also, there's an app or program called Stand Store where you can set up everything that you're selling as items right in that app. And then all people have to do is click it. So, and all of these things, you can look up how to use them. They're very, very simple. The other thing that I've started doing, and I see people do all the time, you can sell from a Google Doc. So literally, you can create a name, an explanation of what it is you're offering. So I'm offering these side hustle strategy sessions. I put it on the Google Doc, put the name, and then I use my Calendly to set up the payment link. Once you set up the payment link in Calendly, you get the URL, attach the hyperlink for the URL to the name of the document on your Google Doc. So some of this stuff might go over some of your heads. And if you don't know how to do these things, message me. I will help you get started. They're very simple, but sometimes the terms are very scary. So when I say hyperlink, it's just the HTML link, the HTTP, whatever it's called, link, the website, the web link, because it's not a website, the web link. You can attach that to your Google Doc, and when people get the document, all they have to do is click on it, and it takes them to the place where they're going to pay. You don't need a website to do that. Sell things from a Google document. You can put all the explanation of what they get, what you teach, how you know it, how clients have had results. And if you haven't had a client before, then maybe you helped a friend or family get results. All of that matters. You do not have to have experience. But the other thing I do know is that a lot of you have done some of this stuff before and given up. So this is also for the person that got discouraged, maybe wasn't making sales and just gave up. Don't give up. Come back. Come back. People want what you have. There's so much mindset drama around selling and having a business that people let their thoughts get in their way of what they're selling. And so if you're telling yourself, I can't sell because I don't have a website or a sales page or a LLC or a business plan or branding or the proper messaging, you don't need any of that. You do not need any of that. And if you don't get anything else from this video today, know that you have everything you need already. Nowadays, it is so much easier to run a business. I the first business I had, I don't know, it was many, many years ago, and I'm not sure if this is the first one, but I started making jewelry, beaded jewelry. I had no website. This was probably 25 years ago. I had no website. I had no LLC. I had no business plan. I just liked making jewelry. So I made jewelry. I started telling my friends. This isn't one of them, but I wore the jewelry every day. So I made earrings, I made bracelets. I wore the jewelry every day. And you know what happened? People started asking me about it. At the time, I was working on my job. And back then, I used to take the deposit for the checks the company received. I used to take them to the bank. So every day I used to walk to the bank. And I made some silver bracelets. And the bank teller said to me, "You have such nice jewelry, and I love those bracelets." So I told her, "I made those." And she was blown away. And she's like, "You made those?" "Yeah, I made them." She said, "Can you make me one?" Sale, cha-ching. Then she told other people about it. Sale, cha-ching. So those I used to make when people ordered them because they were silver and they were on the more. I mean, I think I used to sell them for about $75. So they were very labor intensive, and I had to buy the silver to make it with. But again, somebody saw it. They asked about it. I didn't try to sell her anything. She asked me, I gave her the information, cha-ching, sold. Another thing that I did, I told some friends, I live in Maryland, but my friends were in New Jersey. They live in New Jersey where I grew up. Told them about my jewelry. My one friend decided she was going to have a jewelry party and invite her neighbors. So, and then I had another friend at the time who sold for a cosmetic company. The two of us drove to New Jersey, went to our friend's house. She put up tables and had hors d'oeuvres and treats, invited her friends. They bought our stuff. Like we're getting away from the simplicity. It does not have to be hard. So, what are you going to do? You're going to decide what you're selling. You're going to set it up on Calendly, StanStore, or Google Doc. You're going to start telling people about it. Be excited. Tell people all about the magic of the transformation that you have them help them have. When I first quit my job, I helped women in corporate quit their jobs and launch a business. Well, they kind of did it the opposite way. They launched the business first so they could quit their job. How did I do that? I did it because that's what I had just done. And guess what? I had hired a coach when I was on my job to help me quit my job. So the way I quit my job was to launch my coaching business. We went over my finances, everything, got everything in order so that I could prepare to quit. Then she coached me around my resistance to putting in my notice because I was afraid. I wanted to quit, but I was afraid to quit. She coached me through all of that until I did quit. You see where I'm going. You teach and coach on what you know. You do not have to be certified to coach. You help people through a journey. I my whole career um, a full-time entrepreneur has been to teach what I know. Oh, back in the day I was a personal trainer. I was getting trained by a trainer. So I went to him for so many years. He said, Gail, you know a lot. Why don't you get certified? I had a job part of that time, and then part of that time I had stopped working for a little while. But I got certified, and then I started helping him at his gym, and then I started having clients. You see the trend? I was already exercising. And then him and I started a catering business on the side. So I was making like banana bread, zucchini bread, lemon loaves. I love to bake. So he started having these workout parties at the gym. We started preparing the food. I mostly did the desserts, and I made these mini loaves, and sold them at the gym, at the party, to his clients. You have no excuse. I've laid it out for you. Comment below, what questions do you have? What resistance is coming up to this? Because a lot of times people will say, I already tried that, it didn't work. Well, before you dismiss it, what have you tried, and have you tried it the way that I'm teaching you this week? I want you to celebrate yourself for making it to day 4. If you haven't seen the other days, go back, watch them, comment below, ask questions, schedule a session with me, get unstuck. This is the answer that you've been praying for. You might not have known it, but this is the solution. This is how you make more money. This is how you quit your job. This is how you supplement your Social Security. It's the answer. So take it and run with it. And I will see you tomorrow for day 5.